And, you know, it's not just people of color. I think and let us think about this activism not as involving, of necessity, these dramatic moments. The most important dimension of activism, I think, is organizing. So it means that one seizes the opportunity wherever one might find oneself to encourage people to think about what it might mean to abolish racism in this country and in the world, to struggle for peace against militarism, against capitalism. And now that we have some precedents with the Occupy movement in 2011, with the anti-police violence movement that is emerging, let us figure out how we can persuade as many people as possible to stand in solidarity with those movements. And I think especially international movements. And let me just use this opportunity to give you an example. We've been addressing the issue of immigrants' rights, or not addressing the issue of immigrants' rights in the way that it should be. Most of the activism has come from Latino communities. And it seems to me that everyone needs to recognize that this is the most important civil rights issue of our time. And this also gives us the opportunity to join hands with people in other parts of the world who are also struggling for immigrant rights, given that the immigration that we are witnessing has occurred within the context of the emergence of global capitalism. That is to say, capital moves across national borders, information moves across national borders, education moves, everything is aflow, everything moves across national borders, but when people join that flow, they are designated illegal. Our struggles for immigrant rights in this country with struggles that are happening in France, for example. I mean, we don't hear about the sans-papiers and the important movements that are occurring there in Germany. Perhaps you read about the right-wing movement that has emerged in Germany against people who practice Islam, putatively against the so-called Islamization of the West. And so this gives us the opportunity to join hands. In South Africa, the immigrants from Mozambique, for example, who are suffering tremendous repression, even in South Africa. So instead of imagining that there's going to be, one vast uprising, and maybe there will be, but it usually doesn't happen like that. If you saw the film Selma, you saw those marches at the Edmund Pettus Bridge happen precisely because people were organizing and they were demonstrating the existence of their movement. And so let's seize every opportunity we have. The classroom, unions, church, wherever we are, we can do the work that will help to build the kind of movement that will be able to transform the world.